Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc., the channel all about bringing you as much nerdy content as possible. Today for you, if you saw my most recent video where we did our monthly rate up summoning, we ended up pulling Venezie or Venezie, I'm not sure how you say it, but we pulled the Dark type. And this guy is used all over the place in PvP, so I wanted to check him out for myself and for you guys, so you can just see what you're facing against when you go into these kind of matches. Alright, let's get into this review. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like this sort of content, make sure you like the video and subscribe so you can see when I do my next video like this. I'm always doing once a month raid up summonings and egg hatching, as well as always doing dragon review videos. As long as they're gonna keep making dragons, I'm gonna keep reviewing them. All right, so you can guarantee that. Also, if you would like to support me on Patreon, I'll have a link in the description below. If you support me there, you can get shout-outs and videos, as well as you can get access to the Discord server where we chat about the game. We're always talking about strategy and overcoming obstacles. So if you need help or you just want to get in on the debates and everything, consider supporting me on Patreon and getting access to that Discord server, alright? There's a lot of good stuff that comes out of it, I can promise you that, okay? Alright, so here we go. So first of all, I really like the look of this dragon, alright? They kind of use this body a lot. The Xmas dragon kind of has a similar look to him, just a little bit different. It is kind of a common theme I've seen here. But overall, so, I mean, that's not too exciting there, but he gets cooler and cooler as he goes, right? So light type and the dark type here. So light type, digging it. So you got like the quad wing going on there. The blindfold, I feel like that's kind of just a cool little, I don't know, little detail about him there. Just makes him, he's kind of edgy, like super edgy. But I think it's so cool. So, alright. Wow, that is a name. The Venezie Bradal Dragon is often shortened to Venezie. It has an eccentric character, so it's always engaged in something weird. Okay, that is a weird flavor text. I think this might be one of the first 4 stars we've reviewed. Normally the 5 stars have a lot more flavor text, so more like individual dragon rather than just kind of a broad race as a whole. So but yeah, so dark type here, so both are going to be recovery types, okay? So and so 4 stars here, so he's a hero. But let's get into these skills here. Alright, so starting out, the drag skill on the dark type: recover target's HP and increase defense for 10 seconds. The amount recovered is increased proportionally to your defense. First of all, I just want to say I love healers that double as tanks. Okay, I've got healers in this game that they scale off of attack. Okay, and it bugs me because they're not doing damage at all, right? I mean, let's be honest, because you need to bump up their attack. So unless you're going to give up like crit rate on the, which isn't a bad idea to give them crit rate on the second one, because if you crit on a heal, you get bonus health. So critting on a heal skill is possible. So, but overall, you're not going to be doing crazy damage with a healing base dragon, right? I mean, they're going to have an auto attack that's going to maybe crit every once in a while and do okay there, but they're just not going to do nearly the damage that you want elsewhere, because their passives over here that they're going to have aren't going to be passives that deal damage usually, okay? So if you had, you know, an attack and then 2 passives that also scale off of attack, then yeah, it makes sense for them to be buffed up, but usually that's not the case. So so this is 20-second cooldown. You can increase the amount healed, of course, off of leveling it up. Target count of 3, so not bad. Pretty average there. It is a horizontal from the rear. These can get kind of tricky on placements. I have been getting better about it, but for beginner players, it might be a bit of a problem because you don't really think about your positioning quite as much to quite this extent, okay? But eventually you will get used to it and it becomes a little easier. Jumping over to the light, though, and immediately what I was just talking about. Alright, recover target's HP and increase attack for 10 seconds. The amount recovered is increased proportionally to your attack. So we're scaling off of attack. The thing that really bugs me. I like my healers to double as tanks. So if I can put them on the front lines, that means they just got to take hits. And their job is to heal. They just keep themselves alive and keep the rest of your team alive because your team isn't getting hit, because you want your healer to last to the end. The problem with your attack healers is, yeah, they have a chance to do some damage. Not a lot, but they can do damage. But they melt so fast. They get single targeted. What is it? The Clown Dragon, the Light Clown Dragon. He's in PvP a lot. They just target your attack-based healers, and boom, they're gone instantly. They just don't have the health to survive a single target attack. It just doesn't really work out that way. So, and if you're building them with lots of defense and lots of health, then their heal skill is probably pretty lousy. Okay, so that's just what you're gonna deal with. Honestly, your attack-based healers is not something you want in PvP. You can do it in PvE because the AI you focus isn't gonna like single him out like, oh, he's the healer and he's, you know, the super weak link in this whole team. Make sure we target him. He doesn't have a player controlling him, so the AI is not gonna be quite so, you know, big of a problem. So that is a thing that you can at least be thankful for. All right. So far, really digging the healer, the dark type. So increased defense also. Yeah, so increase attack. So, and another problem I have with this is the people that get healed the most, right? Typically in a fight, your tanks get healed more times than the DPS does. And it just kind of works out that way. It's not like a whole lot, but it's like almost a 2-to-1 ratio where your tanks are going to get healed more often than your DPS. Your DPS might get healed once in an entire fight, whereas your tanks might get healed, you know, 2-3 times that amount. And if it's a really long fight, you know, just double those numbers. So you might be 4 times in the front and 2 times in the back, just depending. So, and again, if your DPS gets single target attack, they're probably just going to melt anyway, and that's not going to really factor in too much on that. Okay. But speaking of, you know, your DPS getting singled out and getting melted, we're going to jump over to the second passive here, and this is what I like about the light type. This is what makes the difference between these two dragons. This is what balances it out right here. So when an ally dies, resurrect immediately and recover 30% of its HP, and you can increase the recovery by 50%, so all the way back up to 80%. When a dragon dies, you just bring them back. Now it doesn't work on itself, which is the bummer about it being an attack type, because if it's in PvP, there's a good chance that it's the first to go every time, and you never get to use its effect. However, in other content, it is great, because if you're doing any kind of PvE content, then usually another dragon is going to be kind of the one that's going to die first, either a tank or DPS in the back. So for Tower of Tests, my light team, this is the dragon I use. As much as I'm harping and getting all on their case about attackers as healers, he's still a good healer. He has a resurrect ability. His heal skill is 2, which is most heal skills in the game. So, I mean, he's good overall. Okay? For certain content, I like him. Tower of Test, he's a good choice. Okay? And then the dark type, he does not have the resurrect ability, and that's what I was saying about. That's what balances these two dragons. Is I can't really pick one over the other because they both have their specialty in different areas of the game. If I had to pick PvP, I would go with the dark type. If I had to do PvE, like campaign mode or farming or something like that, I would probably go with the light type. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and put that out there. They're both pretty even. So his ability is every set duration, remove a harmful effect from allies at the front and grant immunity to harmful effects for 10 seconds. And you can cut that down by 10 seconds, so his cooldown will go to 18. So every 18 seconds he's going to be cleansing and then giving you immunity, right? So grant immunity to harmful effects for 10 seconds. So he's already got that the reduction, right? So there's going to be so then after the immunity goes away, he's going to have 8 seconds where he can have a debuff on him. All right. So if you can survive as long as you can, 3 seconds with a debuff, and then he cleanses it. So and then immunity again. So he's not going to have debuff problems. Target count of 2. So this is going to be a situation where we're going to have basically two tanks up front, him and another tank. If you're looking at dark types, Power Dragon. Power Dragon's the way to go. He's a monster as a tank. So these two guys together are going to start doing some work for me, I have a feeling. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, so protecting them, they get immunity and they get cleansed, so they're just as good as he is. So he's cleansing himself and an ally. So let's jump back over here to this other passive though, as Fet jumps up. For some reason, Dog got in trouble, Boba got in trouble, so Fet's like, I have all the roaming of the house I want. Alright, so every set duration grant HP absorption effect to an ally with highest attack for 10 seconds. Level that up, so it decreases the cooldown. In addition, increased defense for 10 seconds, or 15 seconds, sorry. I like that. So he's already granting all this defense increase, defense increase, defense increase. So sounds like a good option for Clan Dungeon for your top team, because you're going to want those guys to survive, because they're the ones getting pelted with all the big attacks up there at the top. So all this defense increase sounds pretty great. For two allies, looks like every 16 seconds. Wow. So every 16 seconds this goes off and increases defense for 15 seconds. So once he's skilled up, you're never ending at that point. You will always have the increased defense, basically. You're going to have like 1 second where you're not going to have that increased defense, and that's it. And then every set duration, grant HP absorption effect to an ally with the highest attack. Alright, I like it. So, I mean, whoever's doing the most damage, you want them to have the HP absorption effect. So that makes sense for that. And then for 10 seconds, and so they're going to have 6 seconds where they're not going to have that ability. Which, balance makes sense. I think it's a pretty good passive. I like it. As a support type healer, that's a pretty cool passive to have. I think the light type, light type has the same exact one, so he's going to see the benefit of it anyway. So, but it's only going to be the ally with the highest attack. So, increasing the ally with the highest attack's defense, okay. I mean, they're already probably lacking in defense as it is, so an extra boost just cuz isn't bad. So this is a good way to keep your DPS alive, so then you don't have to waste your heals on the guys in the back. They've got the HP absorption, and Boba is very upset that I am petting Fet. So, and then you're going to increase their defense. So you're giving them all the means to survive on their own without having to use your own heal. Will you have to heal? Yes. Will you probably be healing your tanks up front? Probably. So this guy seems like a good light and dark type. Use the X formation, so that's going to be your attack bonus one. So you're going to want to put the light and dark type probably in the middle. So, well, not the dark type. Dark type's got to go up front. The light types you're going to want to put in the middle though, probably. So he's going to be granting that defense buff to the ones in the back. And the dark type's going to be giving it to the guys in the back as well, but then he can heal himself. So right, using his heal skill on him and the other tank and maybe, I guess, whoever's in the middle, if you're using a support type that might be kind of squishy, then it'd be a good call there. So yeah, so they've got the same passive here, use, you know, in their own ways. Highest attack though, so you got to be careful. If he has the highest attack because he scales off of attack, then he might be giving those buff to himself, which might not be the best call. HP absorption effect. It's not like he's doing a lot of damage, right? So might not be the best. The increased defense. Everyone can use increased defense. There's not a situation where you won't need that. So, but we'll jump over here to the last one. So this increases your drag skill. Target recovering from mass transfusion recovers an additional amount equal to 7% of max HP over 10 seconds. So, and no increasing this one here. So, so target recovering HP from mass transfusion. So whoever you choose here with your heal skill recovers an additional amount equal to 7% of max HP. However, it doesn't say whose max HP, and that bothers me. Is it of target's max HP, or is it of your max HP? Because it doesn't really clarify that. I'm imagining of max HP, it's probably going to be the dragon itself that's using the ability. I would imagine so. So, 7% off of that. So he scales off of defense, so he's going to be tanky. If this scaled off of defense, it would be broken, completely and utterly broken. Or if he scaled off of HP, he'd still be pretty broken. So you're gonna have to find that balance, right? So you're gonna want to have a lot of defense because you want that heal skill to be something, right? But the bonus effect of it isn't bad. So you're gonna want to have HP percentage in every substat you can, and I would probably have maybe one of my runes. Well, yeah. Usually I put crit rate in the middle for healers, but when I know they're going to be my tanks, I don't really want that because then I'm giving up on defense or HP. Choices on runes there, and then yeah, the light type has the same one. So what am I thinking for runes here? I'm thinking what, two sets of orange, one set of yellow. Okay, that's enough there. Go kitty, go kitty. Alright, so yeah, 2 orange, 1 yellow, and probably the same for your 2, 4, and 6. So 2 defense percentages and 1 HP percentage. I think that's a pretty good ratio. You don't want to go overboard on defense because then you have no HP, and you're going to use your heal skill on yourself, and you're going to just blast yourself back up to the top, right? So you're going to be wasting healing if you don't have the max health to go with it. So increasing your max health is also a pretty good part to this. So especially because this scales off of it, so you want a decent amount of good health as well. So I think a 2-to-1 ratio on defense to HP would probably be good. Just because you're going to use this drag skill in other places for other dragons, right? So you're going to want to have... sorry, let me jump over here to the dark type. This is going to be your main focus, is defense first. So, because there's going to be other situations where he's not healing himself that you're going to want a good heal going. So, and then with the our good old scaling off of attack here, so you got to have your 4 attack runes, right? So that's going to be 1 set of attack. And let's see what else we got here. So he's scaling off of max HP as well. So probably some HP runes then. So 4 reds, 2 yellows. You're gonna have first slot will be attack percentage. Second slot, this is when you do want that crit rate. So you're gonna have crit rate here in slot number 4, and then attack percentage again in that last one. All right. So you're gonna have the punch of a good heal, and with a chance of it being a crit, which is nice if you put in a really good crit rate rune there, and if you have some good crit rate substats, you have a chance to do some really big punchy heals, which is cool. As well as he's going to be attacking the enemies and doing solid damage to the enemies, right? So especially if you get those crits off, if you have good crit rate. If you have like a leader crit rate or a tamer crit rate also helping him, that's going to be really beneficial there. So big heals, solid basic attack damage. He's not going to be doing any other kind of damage other than just basic attack. So that's kind of a shame. If you can maybe get some attack speed percentage runes or substats in there, like HP substat, crit rate substat, attack substat, of course, and then attack speed percentage is also kind of a good call there on that one. So, and then the HP percentage, that's what also helps your secondary part of your heal. So you have that one big punch as well as another steady heal. So if you go all the way up to max, right, over the next 10 seconds, they're going to keep healing. So if they get hit after that first heal, they go down, but then they start going back up again because you're doing the 7% off of over 10 seconds. So they're going to start healing back up after they take damage, which is kind of nice to break a heal skill down like that. Is if you heal someone and they hit their max, then you're wasting a whole bunch of extra health that they could have got. Like maybe you should have waited longer to activate the heal skill so they were a little lower, something like that. But this way, they go up and then they keep going up after the heal goes off. So if they take damage, you know, they heal the damage back immediately. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, overall, I said it already, but I like both of them pretty evenly. I just like them in different parts of the game and for different purposes. I'm super excited that we managed to pull the dark one today. I don't know when I'll use it. I'll definitely use it in Tower of Test for sure. He will now be my new healer. I know I was talking about I wanted the Dark Lady Dragon, but this guy seems super awesome. I needed a good tank. I was using Wonder Dragon and Power Dragon, but the Wonder Dragon was dying so fast that by the time I got to the final boss, his timer on his zombie state was already pretty much done, and then the Power Dragon was having to do all the work. So I think this will be a nice trade-off for that team, for that going into our future fights here. I did wish I could have got the AoE attacker for that team, but oh well. But yeah, if you like the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, so that we can see future content that we're putting out, as well as consider supporting me on Patreon to get in on that Discord server and chat it up with us. Alright, we're always talking about how to get to that next point in the game to get, you know, even better than what is already considered the best. So it is a pretty nice thing to do, to be a part of. So consider joining us. But with that, we'll see you next time.